empezamos a pensar en esto de invitar a grandes referentes de la comunicación.
Nosotros entendemos que nuestros mejores años son los próximos 10.
Muchas gracias. I have become a brand. It took 2 minutes. Thank you. Buenos dias. This is the traditional kilt from Scotland. PP requested that I dress for the occasion, and I'm delighted to do so. The music that was playing there is by a band called the Proclaimers, and it has become the new Scottish national anthem. Scotland does not really have an official national anthem. We have to share our national anthem with England, which we don't like very much. So we like our own sense of identity. So the people have chosen 500 Miles by the Proclaimers as the unofficial Scottish national anthem, and they sing it at football matches and at rugby matches, and it's far better than God Save the Queen, we think. Anyway, thank you for having me. I would like... I met PP and Diego 3 years ago. They came to Edinburgh to a meeting we had there. And I was very impressed by the people, by the work, and they're a real inspiration. PP was kind enough to come to Edinburgh last year. We created what we call the Edinburgh International Marketing Festival. It's part of the biggest arts festival in the world in Edinburgh in August. And PP came, and we had a full day of presenters from throughout the world. And we asked at the end that the audience voted who was the best speaker. And by quite a long way, PP won. So we have a world champion in our midst. Not only is he a fantastic person and a great presenter, but the work was staggering, and he is a fantastic ambassador for Notable, for Montevideo, and for Uruguay. So it's a pleasure for me to come back. It's terrific to be here to celebrate 10 years of Notable, and I have a gift for both Pipi and for Diego. This is one of my clients. It's the Famous Grouse. I'll tell you about this in a minute. And we have this special bottle produced for today, and it is the famous Notable. I have one more gift. Pipi was very keen that I wore a kilt, and I have brought this all the way from Scotland. It is a kilt that you can wear on the beach. Okay. So, buenos dias. The original idea when I was invited to come to Montevideo is I was very keen to do this presentation in Spanish. So don't clap too soon. I found it very hard, but I've been learning Spanish for 6 months, once a week at Edinburgh University. So es un gran privilegio estar invitado aquí con todos ustedes. My Spanish teacher will be very proud of me. The rest is in English. Sorry. I just felt that with our friends from Brazil and Argentina, we were just fantastic intellectual level, and I just cannot compete, so I thought I would just go for songs and sing along. I will tell you there are 3 parts to my presentation. I would like to tell you about my country and my city, mi país y mi ciudad, mi agencia, frame, and mi pasión por el marketing. I cannot do any better than you have just done, Ronald. My interpretation of what marketing is, it is half magica and half logica. It is part science, part art, part logic, and part rational and emotional, left brain, right brain. It's a combination, and that's what makes it the most wonderful tool that we have to develop brands and to build business and build business success. So that's why I'm passionate about marketing. I studied marketing at university. I've worked in marketing for 30 years, started in brands, moved into communications, but I love it. I think it's the best job in the world, and anybody in here who works in marketing is very privileged, I would say. I must say, thank you for the whiskey. All this Coca-Cola you put in whiskey, it's not... The only way to drink whiskey is a large glass, a small amount of water, which releases the flavours and the smell and the aroma, and then and for my next trick, okay. I met a good friend and colleague and business partner called Alan Freeman. He had an agency in Glasgow, and he had a very simple vision. He wanted to create something great. And I just liked the simplicity and the honesty of that. It wasn't about the biggest or the best. It was just a great agency he wanted to create. So I was seduced back into the world of marketing and marketing services. But I have 2 jobs. Half of my week I work in the agency as chairman. And that means I don't have to work too hard. I just have to try and make sure other people work hard. And the other half of the week I work for an organisation called the Marketing Society. It's a members' organisation, but it's there to promote marketing, a better understanding of marketing, a better appreciation, and better marketing practice. So half of my week is theory, and half of my week is practice. And for me, it's the perfect balance. So that's what I do. Okay, the next slide. The Marketing Society... Oh, sorry. A bit thirsty. Is it okay? It's 4 o'clock. It's been a long day. Thank you. It's about inspiring bolder marketing leadership. That's what the Marketing Society is there to do, is to inspire. I'll talk about the Marketing Society later on. Next slide, please. Tell you a bit about Scotland. Scotland, like Uruguay, small country, 5 million people, but has got big neighbours. Our neighbours are England and Europe. We're a relatively small country in amongst the might of Europe, but we have a very strong sense of identity. 2 major cities in Scotland. Edinburgh, beautiful city. It has a castle. We have our own government there. We have festivals, the biggest festival in the world in August. And we have wonderful golf courses. We have, from where I live, I have 20 golf courses within 10 minutes drive of my house. It's just the best place in the world to live. The other city where Framer is based is Glasgow. It's another fantastic city. It's got an industrial past. It's a working city built on the River Clyde, famous for shipbuilding, but has seen better days. Shipbuilding is no longer the industry. I suppose in many ways it's a bit like Montevideo, I suppose. But it's great architecture and great people. Very smart city as well, very fashionable city. The next slide shows the merchant city. This is where Frame is based. It's I suppose the bohemian part of Glasgow, and it's wonderful characters, wonderful people, wonderful sense of humour, and it's a great place to live and work. Okay, so the brief I was given was if you could identify some trends that are happening in marketing and brands in Scotland. I've picked out 3. I don't think this is particular to Scotland. I think these are global themes. I think they are universal. Accountability. I think marketing is 50 years old, pretty much. And there has never been a more important time for us to be more accountable, more measurable. We need to deliver. We need to talk logic. We need to combine the logic and the magic. It's no longer acceptable just to come along with big ideas that happen to be creative. No longer. They have to be justifiable, measurable. We've got to be taken seriously in the boardroom. We've got marketing directors have got to get onto the board, and they've got to become chief executives. Marketing have got to start leading companies, and we will only be given that sense of authority if we become more accountable. So I would say that's a trend, and the Marketing Society is doing a lot of work to make us more accountable, more professional. Authenticity. The brands, we've had some fantastic presentations about the importance of authenticity, honesty. People have got to be real. They can't pretend to be something they're not, whether it's a country of origin, whether it's a transparency, whether it's a social or responsible requirement. Then consumers are absolutely desperate for authenticity. They are now looking at packaging. They know what's in where it comes from, whether it's good for you or not. So brands have got to be more and more authentic. And the final area is that of social marketing. Marketing as being a force for good. Marketing is often misunderstood. And quite often you hear people expressing marketing as actually being something slightly underhand, something a little bit dishonest, something you shouldn't be too proud to be involved in. Whereas marketing actually has a very important role to play in society, within the community, in terms of how you live your life, how healthy you are, how you treat your environment. Marketing and communications at the centre of all of these things, and therefore we have a real responsibility to our profession to use it. We had a debate just part of the festival last year, and the motion was, can